Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I want to welcome you to Supernatural Saturday. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And we're going to be doing a meditation on the Great Ascension. And there's a few things we're going to cover about that first. Now, somebody's made a note up on the screen in the comment section that there is no sound. I believe that there is sound now from my indicators. But please, if there is no sound, Bo, please send me a text message. I'll look at that immediately. Today, it's interesting. In my meditation this morning, they came and they said to me, it's important to know that you are the ascension. You, as that sentient being, are ascended already. You are simply making a change in your perception from being identified and localized to a physical body and an individual identity that keeps you separate from all that you are. The recognition of that which you are gives you a level of creativity to express in this dimension that is quite profound and literally freedom, pure freedom. I was also asking about, because the question of schizophrenia has come up 2 days in a row now. So I asked them, I said, tell me a little bit more about what the meaning of schizophrenia is for so many people and what that really represents. And they said, those who are dealing with schizophrenia are fighting the ultimate battle of overcoming the ego. That's exactly what they said. It's the ultimate battle of overcoming the ego. They said, barring alterations through chemistry and exposure to certain substances, the process of schizophrenia is literally the individual awareness recognizing the fragmented self and having to sort out through that fragmented self to release the fragments to restore the whole. I said, what do you mean release the fragments and restore the whole? They said, literally, the individual must make a distinction between that which they are and that which they are not. They must consciously recognize themselves as the awareness observing the fragments, but realize the fragments are not who they are. The need to change consciousness through artificial substances is a prevalent condition on your planet today that needs to change. So when they said that, they talked about that idea that substances, the use of substance on the prevalent problem is a prevalent problem in terms of humanity. They said it's important you understand that to release your dependency on substances and restore yourself to your own ability to establish a state of being in your being, that must become the new model. The ascension is about recognizing that you are not a fragmented consciousness, but you are indeed a unified field of energy organizing matter. And I was curious. I said, well, what about marijuana and ayahuasca and acid and methamphetamine, all these drugs that people use, alcohol? What really is the reason that people need those? And they said, people have forgotten that they are the generator of their states consciously, but unconsciously they know they are capable of altering and changing any state of being into any state they wish to be. And I said, well, can you give me an example? They said, well, with a single breath, you may release enough drugs into your body that you can move your body into a state of bliss and you along with it. And I asked them, well, what do you mean by that? They said, you can literally, and they gave me this process of drawing in my breath and filling my lungs completely and tightening my diaphragm, literally squeezing my diaphragm tight while I was holding this breath full. And they said to hold it for about 15 seconds and then release it and just feel the sensation. And I literally felt this, like this, just this beautiful buzz go through my whole body, and my awareness felt free. I felt free in the energy of what happened. I said, well, what just occurred? They said, you just released what in your language you call DMT. All you did was apply pressure to a gland in your brain called the pineal gland. And that gland is the gland that allows you to interconnect and interface with time and space. It allows you the opportunity to interface with time and space without getting lost in it. Through that gland, you can alter your states into many variations of itself. So this was very fascinating to me. So I want to get a little deeper in this concept of the ascension and what it is. They said those who are struggling the most are the ones that have the greatest to gain in their awareness that the struggle is not who they are, but something that they are trying to differentiate themselves from. They are not the effect of certain causes that were initiated not necessarily by themselves, but more often than not, many of the troubles that many of you experience are initiated by others. You are led into trouble with different thoughts and ideas, different emotional energies that are given to you, and you accepted them without question for a period of time. And when you came to the place where you realized something was not right inside, you did not recognize the distinction between what is within you that isn't you and what you are. And so today we see this massive movement of ascension from this third dimensional plane of consciousness where you think you are just a body, and you think you are a mind, and you think you are a collection of thoughts in your body and your mind. And this is not who you are. This ascension is the recognition that the body and the mind and the emotions do not define you. You as an awareness define them. And in order to make that ascension, it is important to recognize the distinction between these aspects of your expressed self. By this we mean the mind, the emotions, and the body are an extension, a lowering in frequency of your awareness so that you could experience time and space. The reverse process is true. You can raise your frequency to recognize you are not time and space and still have the benefit to experience being in time and space without the restrictions that time and space and matter place upon your consciousness, your body, and your mind. Yeah. And I find this all really fascinating, because the idea that the body and the mind and the emotions are the third dimensional density that we use. We use those things to create and manifest conditions that we see in the external world. They're saying that a lot of the educational systems we have today reinforce this self. It draws you more into matter and away from what you are. And what is occurring now in your planet today is the reverse of that, the process of getting withdrawn from others, from other things, from other places, the things out there, and returning into yourself as your being, aware that you are not the matter, you are not the thoughts, you are not the emotions. You utilize these as a creative device. And this external world will not fulfill you more than you could ever fulfill it. You have much more to give to this world than this world can ever hope to give to you, for you are much greater than the time, the space, and the matter in which you find yourselves. And so when we walk you through this meditation on the Great Ascension, it is very simple to recognize that you can tell your body to relax and to breathe. You can tell your mind to become quiet and still. And if you are in that gap between the third and fourth dimension, you can make that distinction. So if we tell this one to close his eyes, it happens instantly. If we tell this one to let his head drop and go relaxed, it happens instantly. There's a process that's natural. If you understand that this mechanism that you flow through is something that you are here to direct, not to be subjective to. You came here to give, not simply to take. The next step in this process is simple as well, recognizing that the thoughts, the memories, the future considerations that those thoughts and memories might generate for your awareness are not you also, and that you may, as you can with your body, simply ask them to be still. And some of you might argue, well, it is so loud in there, I can't do it. We would simply say to you that the amount of experience that you have to develop to become aware of that reality comes through the application of a process of recognizing that your thoughts are not you, that your imagination is not you. You are the generator of that. Do not let what the world has given you create for you. Let you create for you. In the stilling of your mind, there is a presence of being that is you, a vibrational nature, what you call fourth dimensional being, which is pure awareness, that is aware of the body, that is aware of the thoughts, that is aware of the emotions, but recognizes that those things are not what identify you as a being, but you as a being can identify and reorganize the identity of this that you find yourself in, this third dimensional organism that you find yourself in. Up to a certain point, this organism was defined by your environment, and for many of you, it still continues to do so. The recognition of your being as an awareness, which is fourth dimensional, affords you several possibilities. One, that you can assert a new idea and information and emotional energy into this system to alter and change the expression of yourself through this time space into this matter. The second consideration is it opens you up to hearing and seeing those things that your eyes will not see and your ears will not hear, but you may see and hear without your eyes and without your ears. You may sense and know without the apparent need of senses to know, to garner and gain information, as so many of your creators, your scientists, your inspirational thinkers do on a regular basis. They literally leave this third dimensional reality and move into a fourth dimensional reality, and they open up to those vibrations and energies and conceptions that are above what they know with their own senses. The ability to step out from your senses, detracting your attention from who you are, liberates you from the mind, the body, and the emotional fields that are established in there. One of the benefits to this position of awareness, of being, is that the vibration of what you are, when you bring it consciously down, when you bring that consciously down into mind, consciously down into body, you reorganize it. The nature of your being organizes matter far more effectively than you can with the physical form, trying to shape and change and go through gyrations and changing thoughts. Your vibration as a being will organize matter far more efficiently and effectively than any contrivance or any externalized thing, any external drug. Anything you can use from this world, you are far much greater than those. Yes. And so when we move into this meditation, it is not so much about length of time as it is about experience of your being as an awareness that is not subjective to this world, that is not subjective to this form, that is not subjective to the localized identity that you've been given. Some call it the ego, but that you are this awareness that can be aware of those. And in that point of consolidating your attention, you will begin to find a vibration of freedom, for you are no longer distracted by the senses and by the senseless in your mind. It is important you understand these positions of awareness, of body, of mind, and emotion as not being who you are, but rather being mechanisms through which you may express a creative initiative of your being. And the creative initiative of your being can be felt and received in the mind as inspiration, as flashes of insight, as intuition. And in the body, your being will be interpreted as excitement and curiosity and playfulness and joy, and your capacity to be mindful that you are the one that is initiating these states. Yes, somebody's telling me about somebody else is talking about the eternal fountain of youth. So I don't know who this is, but they're saying the eternal fountain of youth is what you are. It is not something you will ever find in this world, and there's nothing you can create. There's no machinations. There's no drug, there's no pill, there's no alteration that you can make in biology that will be a substitute for the eternal being that you are. You may be able to extend and maximize the biological life's extension, but you will not be able to alter what you are from the perspective of time, space, and matter. Wow. So we are, as a being, we are literally the eternal fountain. We are the fountain of youth, what we are as a consciousness. They're also saying that we share in this as a species. Collectively, we share in the possibilities of this infinite consciousness, collectively organizing matter very differently than what we have known before. The existing changes and transformations happening in your geological, social, political systems at this time are in direct proportion to changes and adjustments that are happening in what you are being. The opportunity for many of you is to differentiate and disassociate from what you are not. You are not separate. You are not hidden. You are becoming detached gradually and gently in a way that each of you can accept from believing that you are simply a body or simply a mind. The fear that you see being espoused on the planet today is an opportunity to release that fear and return to yourself. That fear is not who you are. To return to yourself as you are within you. Yes. So things like cubicles and the things are changing in schools, and the things are going to be changing in gymnasiums and at concerts and stuff. These are not, they're not actually mechanisms for isolating you from everybody else. They're mechanisms for getting you to reconnect to who you are as a being. Who you are as a being. Vibrationally speaking, as a being, your body cannot get sick. If your vibrational being is what it naturally is, that will not happen in time, space, or matter, because that's not who you are as a being. But because you've acquired, information and experience from your senses that would tell you some other possibility exists, and you agree with it, then that possibility will exist. For the nature of your being is that all possibilities exist. All possibilities exist from the perspective of being. It does not mean that certain possibilities are right or wrong or good or bad. It just means all possibilities exist. The conceptions of right and wrong and good or bad are wholly dependent on the perception of your experience as a localized body, which experiences pleasure and pain. Yes. But from the perspective of being, there is no limit in terms of possibilities of expression. Wow, thank you. Wow, everybody. I hope you're ready for this, because I hope you've got water with you. We're going to start in about 3 or 4 minutes. We're going to take a few questions before we start. I want to welcome anybody here that's new. I also want to say that this Saturday holds a really dear place for me, because I just got that realization that you can literally change. You can literally change. You can literally change what's happening in your biochemistry with a simple breath, which they showed me this morning. And if you want to experience that right now, before we get into the meditation, before we take a few questions, take a moment to literally breathe deep into your belly, fill your lungs completely, and fill them up so full that they're completely full. And then when they're full, tighten your diaphragm, tighten the lower stomach, so that you're putting pressure on the lungs. And at the same time, when you're doing that, you're actually applying pressure. You're increasing the blood pressure in the brain, which is where the pineal gland resides in the middle of the brain, and the fluid around the brain puts pressure on that pineal gland. And then when you release that breath, feel the sensation that happens in your body and your mind. Just be aware of that sensation. So it's simple. Just breathe in. And release. And be aware of the vibration and sensation that goes through your body. That's a massive shot of DMT or a similar chemical when you do that. So we can generate chemical states in our body from the perspective of how we use the body. And it's really important to understand, because a lot of people are addicted to drugs and alcohol and caffeine to get stimulated, to raise their vibration artificially, but it's only going to be temporary. But once you start recognizing you can introduce a change in the body-mind chemically by just that simple process of breathing. And please, if you've done that right now, share the experience of the vibration you felt when you released the breath on the comment section, so other people get a chance. Yes, they're saying get a chance to hear your experience. Also remember, other people are going to experience it in different levels of intensity. They're saying if you're really attached to the external world as being a source of your pleasure or your pain, then this process won't work as intensely on you, but it will still work. The more you do it, the more intense and more aware you'll become of the effects of that process. So while we're going into questions and answers for a couple of minutes before the meditation, work on that breathing. Take a few breaths where you breathe the breath in, fill the lungs completely, and tighten the diaphragm. And do that for about 15 seconds, and then release the breath. And then be aware of the change in the energy of your body and what you're aware of. And just allow yourself to experience the sensation that is an effect of your utilizing your body differently. So we're going to take a few questions before we start the message. So the Great Ascension is underway, and it's this movement. It is this movement from being just body, mind, emotional mechanism to being the awareness that generates and manifests conditions from itself through time, space, and matter, which will be, they're saying that these expressions of your being from the fourth dimension will change this world greatly and rapidly. And it is necessary to be done sooner rather than later. But this is occurring now, this transition. And it is recognizing who you are, remembering that you are what you are, and that you are not what you are not. Again, this meditation that will be coming up is based on what was covered earlier in the week about who you are. That is not who I am. That fear, that guilt, that shame, that anger, that is not who I am. That uncertainty, that fear, that anxiety, that depression, that is not who I am. And really recognizing that that's not who you are clearly. And they said the method for doing that is to simply identify the state and then make the statement. This is not who I am. 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 Until you feel that energy letting go, you're distancing yourself from that. And then when you feel the change in your energy, when your energy goes up, this is who I am. I am this freedom. I am this joy. I'm in this light energy. And it gets very simple as you practice it more, like riding a bike or driving a car. The more you do it, the easier it gets. The easier it gets, the more you want to do it, because it makes you feel better. It's like you'll drive a car more and more because it gets easier. Hi, Courtney. Hi, everybody. So question from Adam. Can you please ask Aphrodite on why she sent me synchronicities lately? Does she have a special message for me? And anything I should know? Does she want me to do anything for her? Adam, when you do this meditation today, you learn to, when you can still your body, get your body completely quiet, when you can get your mind completely quiet and still, you can hear her as easily as you are hearing me right now. Literally. Yes, she's saying you might also see her as well. But you have to get the cloud. She's calling this the cloud. You have to get the cloud out of the way of the light of our being. Wow. Never heard the mind referred to as a cloud, but it's fascinating. Get your cloud out of the way so that you can perceive what is evident to who you are as a sentient being. Right. Oh, you're welcome, Reflection. A question from Katya. I was told I will date in a few months a guy I already kind of know. Can my angels give me any hints about who that person is? You know, Katya, there's a difference between hoping who it is and knowing what you want. This is very important. The distinction between hoping for what you want and knowing what you want. And you are hoping for something, but you have not been clear about what you want. And if you are not clear about what you want, then you will likely get what you are hoping for, which will not necessarily be what you want. We would certainly recommend that you take pause and consider, what do I really want? What do I really want in a relationship? What do I want to experience from another in a relationship? Take pause to consider this before you go rushing into what you hope for, not knowing what you really want. Wow. Great question, Katya. Thank you so much. Question from Carolyn. I have been feeling a lot of energy the past few weeks to months, more than usual. Is this due to the Ascension principle? Absolutely. A lot of people are feeling heightened energies, not just biologically, but emotionally, especially on the emotional field, because it's where it's the fear energy that's come up on the planet is not to make us afraid. The fear energy, it gives us the opportunity to make a distinction between the fear and who you are. The fear is not who you are. The anger is not who you are. These changes in your global social consciousness are not here to imprison you. They are here to liberate you. Understand, when you recognize that there is no emotion on this planet that could subjugate you to being less than what you are, you would feel undisturbed by any changes happening around you. In fact, the changes happening around you would then be an expression and an extension of who you really are. And as more and more of you move into this place of becoming detached from your connection to suffering, your connection to sadness, your connection to pain, realize that is not who you are. You will find the species as a whole will begin to emerge very quickly from its darkness, from its suffering. You won't have need for things that you have need for right now, for you'll be too excited about being and doing who you are. Thank you, Carolyn. Yeah, I know. I've been feeling them too. It's been I got to say, I love what's going on every day more as I've begun to get through the recognition. When they gave me the recognition that when I lost my identity a couple of weeks ago, and I literally lost my identity in the form of my cell phone and credit cards, I recognize that that's not who I am. William is not who I am, and that was such a liberating thing for me. It let me step back away from all the perceptions, the political stuff, all that. I was able to walk away from that, realizing all that stuff isn't who I am. I want to know who I really am now, and I want to be it. And I think all of you would be wise to consider the same prospect. Who are you? You are not who you think you are. You are not who the world is telling you you're supposed to be. And we've created these massive educational systems that force kids to not be who they are, to think about being out there. You're going to find yourself in this world. You're going to be something out there. And therefore, no, you are something already. And when you recognize and actualize that, you're free. And so all these educational systems serve a good purpose in the sense that they will draw you far enough away from yourself that you get so uncomfortable. You'll get so uncomfortable moving away from yourself that you'll desire freedom. You'll want to be free from the world. And we don't mean from the world in terms of suicide or anything silly like that. We mean free from the world in recognizing who you are. For who you are would have nothing but freedom to express in this physical dimension. You would have nothing but good to offer, nothing but light and love to offer to this world from the perspective of who you are being. Wow. Thank you. Great question, Carolyn. I'm going to take two more questions, then we're going to start the uh, uh, meditation. I want to share. So Julia obviously tried the breathing, and she said, wow, I felt like I was going in a tunnel. Everything turned dark visually, but I felt like I was high. This is wonderful. Remember, once you can control your own chemistry, that means you can control your biology. And when you know you can control your chemistry and your biology, then you can learn to control your thoughts, because certain chemistry will generate certain thoughts. So that sensation of high, what would it be as an expression? What would you do in the world? What would it inspire you to do? So you can actually use that breathing. It's the simplest thing I've ever been given by them. It's simpler than anything that they've given me before. Literally just taking a slow, deep breath, filling your lungs completely. When your lungs are full, you tighten the diaphragm really tight. You tighten it up really good and hold it for about 15 seconds and then release. And just be aware of the change in energy that's generated, because what you're doing is you're applying pressure now to the pineal gland, which is the organ that you as a being use to interface with the body. Your pineal gland is the interface that you as a soul use to stay connected to the body, right? And once you've learned how to operate that, you can change the state of the body, the state of the mind as well. So that's great. Thank you, Julia, for sharing that. I really appreciate that. Question from Zenobia's Eternal Garden. My son Joshua is lost in his depression and alcohol addiction. I am so worried for him. Can you send him love and healing? It's done. I am at a loss for what I can do. The first thing you can do is stop your worry. Align to love. Transmit love to your son as his mother. Biologically alone, your connection to this one is very strong, and your love will facilitate an opening in his awareness. But if you continue to send that vibrational frequency of worry to him, you are adding to his problem, and you know it. And now you really know it. The vibration of worry that you transmit to this one is affecting him as equally as his own thinking, as his own concerns about his past, and his own concerns about his future are. But your love, if it is true, if you are being a vibration of love and you communicate that to him, you will see significant change. For you are not separate from this one. Those of you that have biological children are closer to those beings energetically than you are to others. And you can influence and affect them far more than you realize, especially the women. The women among your species are very powerful in terms of being able to influence matter. And the men know this. That's why they tried to stay in control for so long. And they're losing that control because they cannot survive. Wow. Thank you, Zenobia. That's a great super duper dapple question. Edgar, thank you so much for that donation. I really appreciate that. Edgar's asking, I'm quitting my job at the end of the year, and I'm not sure what to do next. Any guidance for this? I know I am not that uncertainty. Blessings to all. That's wonderful, Edgar. They're laughing at right now at your statement that you recognize that. The more you recognize your uncertainty is not who you are, then something certain will emerge. With this thing you call a job, it is important now to align yourself more to what it is you are as a being consciously, to know what you are as a vibration, what you are being and doing that is love. They're showing me something about traveling, about moving, like moving around, like a piston of some kind, but something about generating from your being, your doing, because they're saying you're transitioning from what you think you were supposed to be and becoming what you are. The very nature of that, of recognizing that you are not the uncertainty, then you will bring forth certainty. You will bring something else forth. When you recognize what you are not, then you become what you are. I'm really grateful. It's good to see so many of you guys are really applying what they've been giving us this week. We're going to start the meditation in 1 minute. But I really appreciate that super chat. Thank you so much, Edgar. You rock. One more question, and then we're going to get set up for the meditation. From YouTube user, the one that says YouTube user is probably from Facebook. Hi, William. I have not been able to tune into light language. I really want to be able to do this. Are the angels able to help me with this? Again, that vibrational language can be translated into physical words, but it needs to be felt first, for that is what the essence of what you are is. The essence of what you are is that vibrational frequency, which is clarity and precision in the manufacturing and organizing of time, space, and matter. Apply this simple breathing process that we've given to everyone today, and you will awaken this. You will awaken this as it's a vibration that you must align to. And your uncertainty, your desire, is keeping you separate from the very thing you seek, because you already are that which it is. Wow. Thank you. So, okay, so we're going to, this meditation is going to be really simple, straightforward. It's about getting you vibrationally aligned to fourth dimensional energy. I'm going to be using the very breathing process that we've discussed, because when you start to reorganize the chemistry of your body, you start to reorganize the chemistry of everything around you. You literally start to organize things around you energetically. And then you start to become aware of the being, aware of the changes that you've initiated by this simple breathing process. And again, the distinction between your body, which is something that you can use, and the distinction between your thoughts and emotions are essential. And we'll go through the steps of getting the body a little still and quiet, and getting the mind still and quiet as you can at this time. You can practice this later, as this will be on this gentleman's channel later to watch. And then you will move into the awareness of what happens when these things are quiet, and then the perception of your awareness of the observer of these things that you are no longer being, that you are observing. Then you begin to move from third to fourth dimensional awareness. And that in turn aligns you to what's called fifth dimensional energies, but we will not get into that process today. It is more important that you make this process simple. Step one, get out of 3-dimension, get into 4-dimension, begin to organize 3-dimension with the being of you being what you are from fourth dimensional energy. Okay. They're saying also that only those of you who do this and experience this will know the truth of this. I love it. And it is true too. We all know this. On some level, we all know there's a higher state of being. Even people that are atheists, if you query them very carefully, I'm having thoughts, I'm thinking thoughts. Well, why don't you see your thoughts? They're not physical. If your thoughts aren't physical, where are they coming from? Aldous Huxley made a very fascinating statement. He said, the brain doesn't produce consciousness, it transmits it. And it really is true. It transmits it. It comes in through the pineal gland and goes through there. The large sides of the brain are mostly for this world, perceiving the data from here. The pineal gland, which seems to be the smallest, is actually the greatest, right? The meek shall inherit the earth is the statement, right? The meek shall inherit the earth. The pineal gland is very small. And through that, you orchestrate and can organize matter. And in the process, we're going to walk through. It's going to only take 3 to 7 minutes. It's not going to be a long process. So hold on to your shirts and hats. It'll be a short process. But please get yourself comfortable right now and take a drink of water. Water is a conductor of electrical energy. You want to be properly hydrated whenever you're doing anything. In all of our courses and classes, we request that students have water handy with them. Because when your brain and your awareness is processing information differently than it's used to, especially when it's information that excites the system, when it's higher vibrational information, when you're connecting to guides and angels and the ascended masters, your vibration goes up. The body processes electrical energy differently. It processes things faster. And so it needs more conductivity. So staying hydrated is really important. A lot of people keep their body falsely hydrated through caffeine and alcohol and sodas and other things like that. They keep their bodies falsely hydrated. And we don't want you to do that. So make sure you're drinking good, fresh, clean water right now. So take another sip if you need to. Get your body comfortable. And then take a long, slow, deep breath as we instructed earlier. In through the solar plexus, breathe deeply down in there, down into the bottom of your lungs, and fill your lungs completely. When your lungs are full, hold the breath and then tighten the diaphragm. And hold for 15 seconds. If you cannot hold for 15 seconds, then release it sooner. And feel the vibrational change as you exhale. Just feel the change in energy as you exhale. And then take another slow, deep breath in. Fill the lungs completely. Hold the breath. Tighten the diaphragm. And exhale and feel the change in the vibration. Feel the sensations. And again, take another slow, deep breath in. Fill the lungs completely. Tighten the diaphragm. And release and just feel the change in the body. Feel the vibration. That's a change in the vibration that you instilled in your body. You chemically altered your body. You, the awareness. And take one more slow, deep breath in. The same way, fill the lungs completely. Hold it. Tighten the diaphragm. And as you let your body exhale, move your awareness to a space just above the head. And now take another slow, deep breath. Fill the lungs completely, keeping your awareness in the space above your head, but breathing deeply, filling the lungs. Holding and tightening the diaphragm. And releasing, and just being aware of the change in the vibration in the space of your awareness. Feel the change in your awareness. Allow your awareness to expand into the space around the body so that you contain the body within your awareness. And from this perspective, feel the vibration of your body with your awareness. Be aware of how it's vibrating now. and notice how the thoughts in your mind are quieter. And take another breath into the body. Fill the lungs completely. Hold it and tighten the diaphragm. And release. And feel the vibration in the energy around your body. And feel how you as awareness are feeling. Feel the distinction between your awareness and your body. Feel the vibration of your being awareness. And take one more deep breath. Fill the lungs completely. Hold it and tighten the diaphragm. And release the breath and feel the vibration of your awareness. The vibration you are aware of as an awareness. And be aware that you have instituted a change in your body energetically. A change that the body cannot make in and of itself. You, as the fourth dimensional awareness, as soul, have reorganized through this process the vibrational state of your body. And just feel that. In feeling the vibrations being more expanded, more quiet, or more peaceful, this is who you are. You are this one that can change the vibration with ease and grace. And very gently, take a slow, deep breath and bring yourself back into this present moment. And just allow yourself to feel the shifts and changes in your biology. And be aware of any shifts or changes in your emotions, in the emotions that happen in your body, and in the thoughts in your mind. Just be very aware of those changes. They're changes that you created, generated, by following this simple process that we offered to you today. And for those of you that have very interesting times in your emotional field, the process will work equally as long as you stay focused on your directing the body to breathe, that you are making the body breathe that way, that you are tightening the diaphragm, that you are activating your pineal gland through your conscious choice to do this. In liberating these higher energies into the body, your emotional field will become calmer. And we would request that those of you that are experiencing the changes you're experiencing to please make them in the comments section as we go into the second part of the question and answer for this week. Yes, thank you. Also, please take a drink of water as you return to normal, opening your eyes because once you can move into the state, it's not going to be your normal state again. It's a new normal. It's closer if you really allowed yourself to experience what you were generating by that breathing process. Then you are moving your awareness from being localized to body mind to being awareness, which can direct and govern body mind. We can't make it any simpler than this. This is as simple as we can make it. Okay, I understand. Okay, so here we are. Hi, Lauren. We're going to scroll through. Okay, Adam, there's a question that you asked above. Again, I don't have the technology with me to monitor the questions, especially the super chat. So please forgive me until I get a new device. I'm using an old phone that I had to replace the phone that I lost, and I'm waiting for a new one to arrive. So please, if I miss your super chat, you can direct message me on Facebook, just William Michael Forbes, and you can connect with me on Messenger with your question, and I'll be happy to address it there if I've missed it today. But I will scroll up. I thought I remember answering a question for Adam already. Oh yes, that was answered, Adam. I don't know how you missed it. We did that. Thank you. You're welcome, Carolyn. Yes. Lauren. Yes. So, thank you for bringing that up. Lauren has just said that she's having some difficulty because of a surgical hernia. Yeah. When that's healed up, this process is going to blow your mind. Remember, effects in the body like that are caused by existing unconscious emotional conditions that have been working in your subconscious field for a long time. In order for a functional thing like a hernia to happen, there's got to be a massive stress put on the body, a massive physical stress, or a long-term emotional energy that makes you feel like you're being torn apart, and it's mostly unconscious. There's a lot of stuff like that happens. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Wonderful. I'm glad. Oh, I just realized that I'm really early today, aren't I? I haven't even considered how early I am today. Wow, that's amazing. Isn't that amazing? This normally starts at 11:30. They said to start it when I started. I'm just honoring that. That's pretty amazing. And you learn to do that. You start learning to trust the process that's unfolding rather than trying to make a process unfold. You are consciousness, eternal consciousness unfolding into time, space, deliberately and intentionally when you know who you are. There will things that will happen that will not upset you or disturb you because you recognize they're part of an infinite, intricate, dynamic process that's happening at all points of time and space simultaneously. And if you are who you are, you have nothing to fear. So when things change, you welcome it and you go, wow, that's really cool, right? So thank you. Normally shortcuts, normally Supernatural Saturday happens at 11:30 to 12:30. I have no idea why it's unfolded this way. But I literally came out of a meditation and they directed me right to here. And I just honor that. And you get to the point when you start to connect with people, whether they're in physical reality or non-physical reality, when you connect to beings that know more than you, it's such a blessing, and you honor that. So when they come in and they say, hey, get up and do the show right now, just do it. I honor that because they know more than me about consciousness and energy than I do. Just the same way as if I were to talk to somebody about stocks and bonds and investments that knows more than me, I'd be happy to listen to them and learn from them because they know more than me. Or somebody who's a professional mechanic, I can learn from somebody who's better at me than anything. That's really important to get that awareness. Find people that are better at doing what you are doing and learn from them. It's an amazing curve especially for 3D. A lot of people struggle in 3D because they struggle themselves. Nobody's missed anything. Remember that. So reflection, here's some comments. I felt tingles and expansiveness around myself. Must be the energy redistributing itself. It is actually, yes, it is it's the energy literally being reorganized, not so much redistributed, but reorganized. That breathing technique, when you're bringing in higher vibrational frequencies into your body, you're literally reorganizing time, space, and matter to that higher frequency, right? That statement in the Bible, the meek shall inherit the earth, had nothing to do with about people. It had to do with that tiny little gland in the brain called the pineal gland, which is really small. And that when you can activate that, if you have faith like a grain of mustard seed, right? In this case, like a pineal gland. If you have the understanding of how to utilize that as a being, you can do many different things in this dimension than you currently can. Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, me too. Good afternoon, Sunny Akata. Okay, let's just see what she's saying. Sunny is saying, I wanted to share that my healing post-accident is super fast-tracked. I focused on being well and in perfect health. Thank you for the guidance last week. And it's so true. When you realize you are not suffering, when you realize that's not who you are, you might be aware of your mind and body frustrated, but that's not who you are. You're aware of that. And the minute you start to recognize that's not who you are, you start to, the healing process from who you are as a divine Christed being, as an anointed awareness, is who you truly are, organizes matter very differently than matter will organize matter. You know, you can go to the doctor to get a treatment, and the way he's going to treat you, he'll be using matter against matter. But you as a vibration can organize molecular structures so much faster than any doctor or scientist or physicist can. It's amazing. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful to hear about this. Yeah, if you want to really support these daily messages, please either consider becoming a patron or use the super chats and support these messages, because it's for the William entity, it's very beneficial to be able to not worry about the 3D things. So yeah, become a member of my Patreon page, patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. I want to welcome the new patrons we got this week. Thank you so much for the support. And just so you know, everything that we receive through YouTube and Patreon, 20% of that goes to a group called rescue.org that's going out and rescuing children from the sex slave trade and child trafficking. So please, you're supporting more than just these messages. You're supporting a good cause that's close to my heart and the hearts of many others too. Yes. Here's something from Carolyn. When I close my eyes, I am only the awareness, and I didn't feel my body. I felt the lightness of being. I felt as though my angels are with me. Yes, because once you are activating, remember, when you're using your breath, and this is my guardian angel John started this a while back when he said to us that when we use our breath deliberately and consciously, we're asserting divine authority over matter. Your ability to actually deliberately and intentionally take a slow, deep breath is asserting divine order over the form. So it stands to reason when you start asserting divine order over this pineal gland, where you start to bring more and alter the chemistry to be in alignment with you as an awareness, well, yeah, you're going to feel the lightness of your being, because you are literally enlightenment, right? Being in light. It literally is true as an energy. When you start to experience what you really are, you are literally becoming light, and it's what you are. But you get to experience that as a vibration. When you experience that as a vibration in time space, it's equally delicious.
This is a reminder. William has to go live on YouTube.
Alexa, cancel the reminder. Thank you. Thank you for that, Carolyn. Really appreciate it. Got a question from Lauren. Do divine beings have a message for me today? first word they said before the question was even finished to me was slowly. Slowly, dear one, slowly. Again, I get the feeling sorry, my brain did that you need to go slowly today, like really slowly, deliberately, mindfully. Don't pay attention to your suffering. Do not pay attention to your suffering. So everybody who's here is perfect. Yes, you'll catch the replay, Jeannie. Deanna Fitzpatrick, for those of you that are new, please remember to, hi Deanna. For those of you that are new, remember, preface your question with the word question so that I understand there's a question. My physical body picks up that light wave from that word question, so then I know I can tell them there's a question. That's how we get to the questions easier. They're saying to you, if you have done this breathing, then you will feel it. If you have done this breathing, you will feel it. The one previous to you began the experience of that enlightenment. The Holy Spirit is the light and the way and the truth of being. So utilize that breathing technique they gave us. Literally, it's the simplest thing that they've ever given me in terms of that. It's literally like drawing the breath in, filling lungs completely, tightening your diaphragm, holding for about 15 seconds, and then releasing and just feeling the change in your being, because you'll feel the change. You'll feel the change. You can't not feel the change when you do that intention like that. Good morning, Patricia. Yes, I was directed to come on earlier today, which was really fascinating. I came on just over an hour ago now, and so we are in amazing times. We are in really, really amazing, wondrous times on this planet. We did not come here to suffer. We came here to express our being, and we got lost in matter. We got lost in matter. We got lost in believing that this material world defines us, right? And it doesn't. We came here to define it with our being, which is a vibrational frequency level. Nature, works effortlessly. The very nature of nature is that it works effortlessly amongst itself. And we are the only ones that have gotten resistant to the effortlessness of being. And again, as you learn to realign yourself vibrationally to this fourth dimensional aspect of who you are, right? Because this is what the Ascension is, literally learning to transit from being body-mind, which is all three-dimensional, to being the awareness that you are. You are an awareness that envelops your body as a vibration. And when you can do that deliberately, you start to get different information, different vibrations, different inspirations start to come from you, from who you are being and who you've been taught to be, right? There's very, very different. Thank you so much. Let's see. I'm going to scroll down here. Wow, that's amazing, Lauren. No worries. You're never late. You're always on time. Everything's in perfect order. When you realize there's nothing out of place. Like the William mechanism that I used to think I was a year ago, if I had come on early without thinking about it, would have panicked and gone, oh my gosh, look what I did. It's the wrong time. That's not who I am. That is not who I am. And it's important as you start to make the distinction between who you are and who you are not, then your creative expression and the things that you'll do in this world will be governed from a very different principle of consciousness, your fourth dimensional presence. The fourth dimensional nature of what you are is not a physical organism, but a consciousness that reorganize time, space, and matter in ways that are miraculous to the people that think they're still bodies and minds, but very normal in terms of understanding who you are as a creator being, right? Thank you. Mm. Yeah, I know that, Courtney. It's a very, it's a different. It might be the same conditions, but I think we're in different boats. Um, yeah, so the replay will be really exciting for you. I'm just scrolling down here. Hi, Nicole. Yeah, the replay, Nicole. The replay will be well worth um, experiencing the process. They gave this to me this morning during my meditation, right? And when I came out of meditation, they just said, "Go do this and share this right now. You got to bring this energy forward while you are in it." And it's true. When you are in an energy, it's the best time to do things. When you're in excitement, that's the time to do something. When you're in positivity, that's the time to do things, because your energy will organize things very differently. So yeah, please go watch the replay. Uh, Now, here's a really fascinating question that I'm excited about, because I'm curious to hear that. They're saying the purpose of this chemistry is to give you full awareness of your relationship to the greater self that is you, but also for you to be able to communicate the vibrational nature of the greater self that is you to your body and mind, so that it can be prepared, so that your body can be prepared to receive what you are, so that you may express what you are without inhibition, without any encumbrances, and with the clarity that you naturally possess. This chemical reorganizes, re-entrains all of the molecules of your body into alignment with what you call the fourth dimensional state of your being, but also the fifth and the sixth and others. But we will say fourth because we know that all of you can comprehend at least the conception that you are an awareness that can direct a body. You are an awareness that can be aware of thoughts and change them. You are an awareness that can utilize emotional energy to alter physiology to conduct itself according to your direction. But this particular chemical and your ability to generate it and naturally stimulate it in the form liberates you to prepare the body for your arrival. Wow. Wow, cool. Thank you for that question, Reflection. Wow. Nobody's missed anything. Yes. But yeah, remember, you haven't missed anything. You just watch the replay. Everything's still here. It's you'll never miss anything. That's not who you are. You can't miss anything. You're going to get exactly what you need. Anyway, I love I love that I get to express and be a part of this. I'm really grateful for the ascended beings, the masters, the angels, the guides, the archangels, the fairies, the brownies, all the beings that have crossed my path over these last couple of years since this whole realm opened up for me. And I love that we were guided to create these courses that have been helping others to actualize this process too. And I encourage you to go check our courses out. We got our Mediumship 102 course coming up on the 26th of September. And I encourage you to take it. It will help you to release all that old, dense emotional energy from the body so that you can be liberated from it. And when you release old emotional processes that are stored in your subconscious mind, when you can release the energy from there, it changes the energy in the body. And when shit happens to us that we don't like, especially health conditions, and they come out of nowhere, why am I feeling this way? Why did this condition come from? When people ask that question, they're saying to me, I don't know why this happened. It's usually because it was unconsciously unfolding. Because when we are consciously experiencing something we don't like, we'll often store those feelings in the body. We don't want to experience them, so we shove them in the body. The body carries the burden of our inability to resolve negative emotional energies on our own, especially when we're children. Children do not have an awareness of how to release negative emotional energy, so they store it in their bodies, literally. Until they grow up becoming teenagers and adults, they start getting medical conditions, they start generating experiences in life that are unfortunate, that are a direct result of the emotional energy stored in the subconscious field. And our Mediumship 102 program is literally about how to get access to those emotions and let them go out of the system. And when they're let out of the system, suddenly you have more clarity, more freedom in your perception. And when you have that, you can hear more than your ears can hear. You can see more than your eyes can see. And again, the goal of connecting to the guides, the angels, the archangels. The goal of that is to learn, to get a guidance on how to reach a higher perspective of being, and then to articulate that higher perspective in time space, and then inspire others to do the same. Sorry, just an orb just went by my face there. Thank you so much. And it gets simpler. It really gets easier. But yeah, today is, thanks for that question on DMT. Really appreciate that. I think we'll take a couple more questions, and then we're gonna move on. Question from Sunny Ukta. I have been seeing from my third eye when I sleep. Last time I saw indigo flecks of energy in front of me. What is it? And is there something I'm supposed to do? Thank you. They're saying that your if you go back even to the memory of those indigo flecks, what is the vibration you are reminding yourself that you are? What is the vibration that you are reminding yourself that you are? You are in a process of liberating yourself from your subjectivity. And we're very happy that you asked this question, for an understanding that you will create the symptoms you need to liberate yourself from your suffering will be simple to understand as you gain more awareness of the process that you are currently using. Cool. Thank you, Sunny. Question from Lauren. Oh, can we do a meditation for West Coast of the United States for the fires? Let me ask and see what they say. Yeah, they're saying we could arrange something like that. We would not be doing that at this time, but we can take a few moments to get excited about rain there, to be excited about the sound of it hitting the ground and the feel of it coming down through the air, and the sensation of looking up in blue skies and watching the clouds form and roll in gently over that place and those other places. To deliberately and intentionally feel these things unfolding right now. To be aware that you are creating what you are feeling. And if you are feeling concern or fear about the fires, then you are creating more concern and fear. And we would say, how does the rain feel falling on your face? How does the rain feel falling on the grass? And how does it feel to see those beautiful clouds laden with water gently moving over, gently quenching these fires with kindness, grace, and compassion? And can you feel the joy and the excitement of those receiving that rain? Can you extend the joy and excitement that you would feel recognizing their joy at receiving this rain, even if they do not know that you are giving it to them? Can you feel that? We can take a few moments to feel that and see that and know that. Can you do that? Can you see and hear the quenching fires and watch the rain gently moving down? Gently moving down. Gently quenching the fires. You do not want it to be too intense, too sudden. You want it to be gentle and graceful and balanced for what is occurring there. And as you recognize those ideas and the feeling of those ideas, you lend the possibility of them unfolding into time space, that reality. For the possibility for all things exists in the nature of who you are being, but you must decide and feel and envision and trust in that process that is you. So we agree with you in envisioning this, but know that there are many involved that are very attached to their suffering, that they have to release their attachment to their suffering equally. For we cannot force our will, nor would we, upon those desires of others. Thank you. Thank you for that, Lauren. Really appreciate that. Wonderful. Question from reflection. I think this will be the last question for today. How can we manifest miracles into our lives every day? Wow. It is understanding the nature of the vibrational qualities of that which you wish to see manifested into what you call your time space. For when we hear you ask this question, we clearly understand that what you are doing is saying, in this physical world, how do I make these things happen? But you do not make them happen in the physical world from the physical world. You make them happen from the vibrational nature of who and what you are being. Miracles are natural phenomena of what you are and how you choose to organize what you are as an awareness, as an energy. To simply feel the nature of a miracle already completed, to align yourself so explicitly to the sensation of joy or excitement of that fulfillment of that thing, that event, that circumstance. To feel that, not be attached to the ways and means in which that will happen, but to feel and stay centered in that. Interesting. You may also use this breathing process that we gave you earlier when you do this. So you align yourself to the feeling of what it is you wish to see expressed, and then use this breathing to reorganize the chemistry of your body so that the conditions of this manifestation have the least amount of resistance in terms of unfolding into your physical experience in this third dimensional realm. You can always transform the conditions below what you are when you know you are what you are, but you cannot solve the conditions from within them, for then you are them. Thank you, Reflection. I really appreciate that question. Hi, Heather. Yeah, for those of you that will come to the replay, I want to thank you so much. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up, like my channel, subscribe to it, click the notification bell so you can know when I come live immediately and get a notification on your devices that I've come live with my guys. And also consider becoming a member of our Patreon page, patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. I'd love to have your support. It's in time. Support what's real. And I want to wish everybody a wonderful and a joyful day. And Heather, I've still got to find out why it is we can't connect on that social media platform, but we'll figure that out. And I want to thank all of you guys for stepping up and stepping in when you did. And hopefully you'll really get a handle on what this was today, because it was more than just breathing. This great ascension is about you being able to align yourself intentionally and consciously to what you are as a fourth dimensional being, and then to be able to bring the vibrational nature of who you are into a physical manifestation, to bring forth your love, your light, your joy as creative expressions, as inspiration, as information, as actions towards this world that will enliven it, ennoble it, respect it, honor it, and cherish it, which is what the fourth dimension being that you are will do. You would not do anything else than that. That is who you are. For those who are considering taking the 102 course, I'm going to post this up on the wall for a few moments. And so if anybody wants to register for the Mediumship 101 course, all the information is right there. And all the information has been scrolling along the text at the bottom throughout this. So we got Joe Goldsmith, Michael Rolla, and Tatiana Hellier, our assistant mediums, and myself and my partner Norma are hosting this course. And I welcome you to join us. This is a transformational course. It is amazing. It will alter your life. It will not just change a few small things, it will give you the power to free yourself from your suffering. Yes, I will keep trying. It's just that Heather, it's just that I've got close to 6,000 blocked things on my thing, and I can't find you anywhere in there. I'm wondering if I've accidentally blocked you, because that's the only way I can think of it. And so trying to find one, and Facebook does not offer me the option to change to search for somebody that I've already blocked. So we'll find out if that's what the case is. I'll have to ask Facebook. But anyway, I love all you guys. I really appreciate your stepping up, stepping in, and stepping into the process. Because once you start learning how to utilize your pineal gland and realize that you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are the awareness, the fourth dimensional being that came here to bring what you are to the world, to offer the vibration of your energy to the world as a gift. And as you learn to connect to your guide, your angels, and your ascended masters, you will also have the opportunity to bring even more of what they have to offer to you, to others as well, as I have the privilege of being able to do in the work that we are doing here. So I want to say much love to everybody. Have yourselves a wonderful, a joyous day, and I will see you on Monday on Shortcuts for Your Soul. Much love, everybody. Bye for now.